now being maybe part of the evaluation process of this decision?
Yeah, probably, more the evaluation process. Coach Dennis does a great job, and I think that, the guys that help him, Coach Fish, everything, inside the building and things like that. I'm not necessarily spending any more time there at all. I mean, I'll obviously probably be a part of the conversation as we eval and do all those things, try to identify what each guy does best, make sure we play to that. But that was nothing out of the norm.
What do you feel like you can maybe add to that as a receivers coach, or something that you can add as far as your perspective on that?
I think perspective's key. I think perspective in everything's key. I think, what we're trying to do and them understanding our trials and tribulations, and then us understand what they're trying to do, and then their trials and tribulations. I think perspective changes outcomes, mindsets change habits and change actions. So just giving guys perspective of what we're going through, maybe a nugget here and there, what motivates my guys, it's just being able to have more conversation, relate more to more guys, quarterbacks being one of those groups.
Jay has said he wants to be more of a CEO, offense and defense. Have you seen that so far in the first couple of days of spring?
Maybe a little. I would say that Coach Day is still Coach Day. We're elite because of what Coach Day brings to the table. So don't want to steer too far from what he's been continuing to do. So, but I'm sure he has goals that he's trying to accomplish through spring. We all each have individuals. We have offense and defense. We have team goals. All those things. I'm sure there's things he identified he wanted to do better. He's probably trying to do that the first day of spring. But his energy and what he brings to the table offensively will never change.
When you look at,
I don't know. You guys went on some tangent about punt returning the other day. I didn't know where that came from. But he caught one punt, and you guys were like, "Oh, he's the starter." I was like, "Wow, it's really spring ball." You can tell. So what do I think about Marvin catching punts?
You think he can do it?
Yeah, he can do anything you want him to do. I think a lot of guys can do a lot of things they want him to do it. But we're going to try to identify the best guy to do it. I mean, can we do kickoff returns too? Probably don't want to do that. So again, just a total eval. We all kidding aside, we want to build a good depth of guys. It's amazing how quick you get a guy tweaked, or now we have a shoulder. He's not back there. Like, he's playing receiver. He's not going back there to catch punts. So you got to make sure you have a good depth of guys, and that's a great opportunity for young guys to get reps. But when you have maybe a guy and you got to have a situation, he may be one of those guys that would be on that list.
When you look at Marv, he didn't get the Blitnikoff last year, and he's not kind of afraid to share that he thinks he should have gotten it.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that has two eyes could tell he should have got that.
So when you see a guy that's already that good, getting ready for another season, how much better can he be?
Oh my gosh, so much better. I mean, does he want to be, an old head or an old veteran compared to who? Like the 18-year-old? Or is he comparing himself to Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams? I mean, perspective is, I don't even know how you would think anything otherwise besides the things he's trying to chase is not amateur and on a smaller level like, college football. I mean, I think his goals, like a lot of our guys, not just him, it's not sheltered at college football. I think he has perspective and wants to chase his dad. So the small-mindedness, I don't think really Marvin has ever possessed that. He's always been pushed to think big, and I think he's probably doing that.
Do you see that trickling down the rest of this group at all?
Say it again?
Do you see that trickling down to the rest of this group thing?
Absolutely.
As an example.
So that was kind of our conversation. It's like, it's day one spring, but who are we chasing? Are we just chasing, what's great about it is there's a bunch of guys that are younger that are chasing Emeka, Julian, and Marvin, and Xavier. And then those guys are chasing somebody they can't see every day. These guys get to see the best receivers in the country every day and chase them. That's the best thing that's got going for any young athlete, to see it every day, how they operate. And you can see that now. It's an influence on these guys. The hard part is for the guys that are in the front of the room. They're chasing people they don't see every day, how they work every day. So they've got to play with an imagination, and I think they're doing it.
Brian, you mentioned that second group of receivers. There's the extra reps they're getting now with the Mecca moving out. What do you want to see from them this spring to take full advantage of that?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we didn't get a lot of reps at receiver during Saturdays, so there's a lot of things they got to prove and show. I don't think any box has been checked. So anything it takes to be a receiver at the highest level, to be one of the top returning receivers every year, to be one of the best in one of the best rooms in the country, we've got a lot of things they still need to check. So there's really no box that's been checked.
Brian, what do you see from Xavier Johnson in terms of where he was at last year and where he's at now?
Xavier's awesome. The growth he's had over the last 12 to 18 months has been awesome. A true offensive weapon. I mean, his ability to be an elite receiver and also go in the backfield and carry the football, pick up protections. I mean, there's so many things that young man brings to the table, let alone special teams. Like, to me, he's going to play football for a long time, barring health. That's now you're in the right lines. Outside those right lines, he is a great young man. I mean, Cam Babish. I mean, that's what I always think. Cam Babish is an amazing young man. That's just, he's created a standard. Everyone kind of knows that. X is in line with all that, just with the rest of some other guys too. But big man of faith, great leader with the young guys, willing to speak up. The future is bright for Xavier.
What's been your impression of the quarterbacks?
What's that?
What's been your impression of the quarterbacks?
They're competing. They're going against each other. We're not shy about it. Whether it be in rope pools in the winter, or whether it be period to period, they're competing. They're doing a hell of a job with it. Now, the ability for them to still coach each other and hold each other accountable, done a good job of that. Sometimes when you're competing, it's hard to be a good teammate. That's just the reality of it. But they're still being great teammates, and every day they're trying to put their best foot forward, and that's been happening.
I think this receiver group will be confident in either guy.
I think, yes.
Coach Lee was talking about that the plan was for you to call plays during spring. He wasn't sure what the plan was going to be during the fall, but he mentioned during the spring and stuff. I'm sure you've got to be looking forward to that, getting a chance to call plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's like playing Madden, I guess. So the more I can continue to be involved and grow, I'm excited about that. It's kind of been the whole path through sports in general. But we'll see how it all plays out.
Jaden Ballard, I want to ask about him. A lot of fans ask about him. He's entering his third year now. Obviously, he's got some good guys ahead of him. But what does he need to do, in your opinion, to see the field this year?
I would say Jaden, his play speed's got to continue to grow. Got some of the best hands on the team. His route's got to continue to grow. His body language has continued to grow. The game within the game's got to continue to grow. There's still a lot of growth there, but he literally has he has not taken steps back. Where some guys take a step forward, 2 steps back. He hasn't done that. He's continued to grow and get bigger, and now he's over 195 pounds, and he's running fast and great ball skills. We just got to make sure the whole totality of being a receiver continues to grow, because at the end of the day, I'm going to pull a guy off the field to put you on. You got to do what he does. I mean, I'm not going to pull the left tackle off and put the next guy in for everybody to feel good. So you got to be able to do that. And if he's deserving of that, he'll be out there. And that goes for any position. You got to make sure there's not a fall off if you're going to get opportunity to be on the field on Saturday, not because of the coaches, but because you owe it to your peers. And that's just the reality of sports. So he's continued to do that. He's shown every sign that he's going to get that accomplished at some point.
Noah Rogers was pretty impressive physically. Just how did he do this winter?
I think the freshmen as a whole, I have a seriousness about them. They have a purpose about them. They know their plays. They find ways to put the good things on film. They have a high standard, so we got to work on not getting down on ourselves at times. But they do have a high expectation, which is good. But there's got to be a fine balance. But the whole group has done a great job, and Noah especially has done a great job.
Why did you like him so much, in a recruiting standpoint?
Because he's a good football player. I'm kidding. He's a great. If you ever get a chance to, you guys obviously haven't met Noah. Noah is a great individual. I mean, I don't know if there's one person that asked about my family more through recruiting than Noah Rogers. I mean, he's compassionate. He has a high GAS. You guys, can use that factor. Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, he just really has the ceiling that's not calculable. He's going to be that good. It all comes down to what kind of work he puts in. But again, he shows every bit he wants to put the work in. So, great young man.
When you look at the spring ahead of you, what are you kind of hoping to grow in?
Everything I do is always new, I feel like. So everything. There's not really one thing at this point that I would call myself an expert at. So I'm gonna continue to grow everything.
How do you balance, as the OC, trusting the assistants below you and giving them space to coach, and then also being the overseer?
That's easy. I mean, I'm surrounded by elite coaches, so any kind of confidence I have is stemming from them. They have to be surrounded. If I'm a quarterback, I'm going to be very, very confident because of the offense that we have, the personnel that we have around me, the coaching around me. That's the confidence you should have. I have that kind of confidence. Players were able to coach. The staff around me, Coach Day, nudge. I mean, all that. So to me, I just got to be myself. And then if I get too far off the tracks, I expect somebody to put me back. And then we just keep going forward.
Marvin seems like the same kid he was when he was being recruited. I mean, he's got a Hall of Fame father. He's become a superstar here. How does he stay so grounded? That's just how he is?
I think the chase he's on, he's nowhere near where he wants to be. So in his mind, he doesn't know what everybody's celebrating. So you guys are celebrating, but he's not. He's still on that same chase. So that would be my assumption. That's probably a good question for him, but him and the others. I mean, I don't know if X changed. Julian hasn't changed a whole lot. He's grown a lot. They've all grown a lot, but I wouldn't say anybody's really changed. So I think that the chase that they're on is probably the biggest factor.
Is there anything
area for him you think he could grow and really develop a targeted area for improvement this spring ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, the more situations he can get put in, the more the more he can learn. There's things that happen that he hasn't experienced yet. He is big, he is strong, he is fast, but to do that, get bigger, stronger, and faster, and maintain and play in the fall a little stronger, a little faster, a little more consistent. That's what it's all about. I mean, it's not like he doesn't know how to run around. It's not like a Mecca does not, or Julian or Xavier. Can we do it stronger, faster, with more anticipation, more consistently? That's what we're chasing. It's not the ability to. It's more the how often conversation. So, and how fast and how good.
I'll take any one of you.
So he's chasing that. His growth, be able to carry more speed through breaks, to stop even faster, to stop cleaner, to make every contested catch. If my catch percentage is 92%, I want to be 93. On targeted balls, there's always an ability to grow. And I think, again, it's a little harder to find the inches. Some people are looking for feet for growth. He's looking for inches, but they're still there. He knows that. We've had that conversation. And I know that.
Like, if you're trying to measure the speed of the route or speed of the break, is it GPS technology?
No, it's just, you can tell. You can watch it. I mean, yeah, maybe. Quantitatively, you can probably check that out a little bit. But he knows. He feels it. He knows the cleanliness. He knows when there's a misstep. So we're just trying to chase that all the time. And, yeah.
Caleb Brown, if he earns playing time, what do you see his role being? Is he a guy that can help in the slot? Just what do you see out of Caleb Brown?
Yeah, I think right now that's probably where he's been playing the most and the most opportunity. I do think he's got a chance of being a returner. And he's strong, he's fast, he's got good hands. From an athlete perspective, he's got a lot of those traits. So being a slot or being a returner is definitely somewhere, Caleb can help us.
What was your reaction to James coming back from Laurinaitis?
I think it was good for the players. I think having guys like him and his makeup, regardless of being a good player or not, the way he operates, the way he communicates, the way he is as a father, the way he is, with his church and being a faith, he's a great role model. I think he's going to relate well. I think the guys will listen early on because of the track record, but what he does after that conversation starts is what it's all about, right? So, but for the Buckeyes and for the players currently here, a blessing for them.
It'll make them better.
I think so.
Brian, Caleb Brown's over there talking about making that transition from high school running back to receiver, how different he feels. How have you seen him, morph into more of a receiver than a running back?
Yeah, we're on the same page. I think he knows that transition. I think that there is, just the things you do at running back that's different at receiver. The scope of the game, feeling space, having anticipation, understanding, coverages. There's just so much to that takes time. And, I think that he's definitely putting in the work to get that done. But it's not about, if he can do it. I know he can. It's just when. So the chase is to get that done as fast as possible.
Brian, you've been on a lot of football teams in your past before you became a coach. How important is it to find that starting quarterback as soon as possible? I mean, does it make a difference?
I don't know. I think we're getting a lot of good work. I don't think, especially not now, it's definitely not a rush. I think that, trying to think, TCU, when did Max Duggan start? Week 2?
Yeah.
How'd that go? Yeah. So I think that it's always good to build chemistry, but I think we do that in all that we do, not just X's and O's running plays. The routes we've had, the time spent. If they weren't building relationships last year, shame on them. I mean, so no, I think it's important. I think that I would lean heavily on Coach Day and Coach Dennis in that conversation of when. But I think that we're in the world of we'll make things work regardless of situation.
But when you're an offensive coordinator now, when you're envisioning where this offense is going, is the guy steering? How important is the guy?
I think competition is the best to create the best out of somebody. So the longer we can have competition, the higher the demand, the more stress, the better the outcome.
Yeah. And as you see these two, well, we take the prime combatants, or Kyle and Devin, for the starting job, obviously. Yeah. As you see these guys, I mean, what is your take on where they can take this offense? Meaning, some people think there's going to be a drop-off this year losing CJ. Some people, you know what I mean? What is your sense of the talent you've got on hand in that regard?
Well, I think they said the same thing when CJ took over.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So I'm not really concerned about that.
No, but
we have great players.
Yeah.
And the offense is going to be great. And it's going to be geared for our players that are playing on Saturdays, just like it was different with Dwayne and then Justin and then a little different with CJ. And it'll take the mold of the best players we have. And that's what good coaches do. So whoever wins that spot, we're going to make sure the offense fits the players.
Yeah. But my point, I guess what I'm saying is we don't get to watch these guys every day like y'all do.
I know.
Do you see two elite guys? Are those two guys elite in your opinion?
Yes,
the two guys you're working
elite.
with. Yeah.
Yep.
And what defines that in your mind?
What defines that? Well, everyone has the capabilities of being elite. No one's elite until they are elite. So I don't just pass out, awards before they're earned.
Yeah.
So, everyone, could Marvin be elite? Sure. Could Mech? Sure. We don't say he's elite until he's elite, and he earned that.
Yeah.
So do they have the ceiling for whatever they want to accomplish? Yes. Will they accomplish it? It's on the collective. It's on him. It's on them. It's on us. It's on the collective to get that accomplished.
Up on Tuesday. Do you know if we're going to have it the rest of the spring?
Day to day, I have no idea. Day to day.
What do you think of Devin wearing the 33? I think it's kind of cool that he's giving a shout out to Sandy Ball.
Really?
History, first quarterback ever inducted into the Hall of Fame. What do you think of him wearing the 33?
I have a lot of things that I think about. I don't have time to put that as one of them into my opinion-based thoughts.
This is why I waited so long in the interview to ask you about
Yeah,
that. Kind of
I appreciate that. I appreciate that throwing question.
Is there a process going on for you right now, and maybe not right now during the spring, but have you been in a process of studying other offensive coordinators or reaching out to people?
Yeah,
we have
one of the best. We have the best in college football, like 30 feet from me.
Understood.
So
you're talking about,
but no, I think that I've always connected with the guys I know, and just nuggets here and there, thoughts, all those kind of things. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of guys have been awesome. So, but I always expand it. It's not more about being, I guess, an offensive coordinator, but it's more with the balancing of time and reaching of people and suggestions that way, than anything else.
Do you have like a million things you want to do, and then you have to narrow it down to what you can actually do in terms of?
No, not really. I think that I'm not really like the type to just draw thousands of plays. Like that's not where I'm at. That's not how my brain works. The things we do, I want to do it at a very, very high level and with extreme, efficiency, and provide advantage to the players as much as possible based on the plays. That's kind of where how my brain kind of operates. A lot of plays are really good. If it's not good because it's press man and we're not good versus press, well then just move the guy. Still a good play, So I'm more of a simplistic mind, in my opinion.
I sort of remember 2 years ago you giving a message to the receivers that a new quarterback is coming in, the quarterback competition is happening. They maybe had to step up their game. Similar message at all?
Say it again.
I sort of remember 2 years ago you were kind of telling the receivers they had to sort of elevate their game with the new quarterbacks coming in. You were going to be breaking in a first-time quarterback.
Gotcha.
I was just curious if you passed along a similar.
No, I don't think so. I think. It's a thought. I haven't that message has never hit me. I think that there really is a really good connection. I think that the difference here, in my opinion, is that the receivers are now the older guys. But we've kind of been around each other a lot. I know Garrett and Chris were kind of the older guys, I guess, a little bit with CJ, but I just don't feel like it's that much of a difference. I don't know why. I just feel like these guys have been around each other, been throwing a lot on their own. Maybe a little different. I don't know.